Welcome back to another Build the Back to the Future DeLorean. We are on issue 26. It's Saturday morning. This is going to be a big one. It's not a lot of pieces in our kit here this week. It's mostly the muffler and some screws. However, this is the week where we attach the engine to the chassis and actually get the axle set up for the drive axle. So, like I say, a lot going on here. I don't think this is going to take terribly long, but it's not going to be super fast either. So, let's get to it. Get this open. Okay, so right off the bat, we have to put together some of the muffler. So this is the shell, half the shell of the muffler. This is going to be the inside of the muffler. And there are these two exhaust outlet pieces. There are two of these, and those are going to go all together in this. So step one is to attach those exhaust outlets to the shell with AP screws. And those just go in on the sides. And there's keyed spaces so they don't rotate. Now, those might be a little tricky getting the screw through it, just because of the angle everything is at. Holy cow, this is irritating. So, that was super irritating. It took a lot of effort. Tip would be, before you try to install these, run the screw into them outside so the threads are cut, back the screw out, and then put them together. I had to do that on the second one. There was no other way I was going to get that done. It just did not want to seat. Whew! The angles in here are just so close. Doesn't matter. You'd have to have a tiny, tiny right angle screwdriver to really make it work without that. Okay, so next step is to put the back shell on this, which can't possibly be as tough as what that was. So, there doesn't appear to be a top and bottom. That just fits around like that, and then it takes two FP screws to secure. Whew. Okay, so that was a much easier step. They call it a silencer repeatedly in here. I guess that's the British for it. We call it a muffler here in the United States. You can call it anything you want, I suppose. But, you know, typically, I think everybody here calls them mufflers. I don't know, maybe that's regional. Jeez, I don't know. Okay, next step is we take the opening on this end. That actually fits over the exhaust pipe that we installed on the engine. And then this all lines up with some points on the engine frames. It's a bit of a stretch, apparently. This side's not too bad. You get the muffler pipe in, you get it on the bracket. Yeah, that was a little tough. So you have to both get this peg in here and keep that bracket over the side, because it's going to get a screw through from that side too. Really doesn't want to stay secured, so I better get a screw in there quick. So this is going to take AP screws. I'm going to get one AP screw ready here. And that'll at least keep that one side from popping off. While I fit this up again. That gets secured from the engine side of the bracket. Okay. Now, the next piece is going into metal, so it actually gets secured with an AM screw instead of an AP screw. And then there's a snap-in pin, which the spacing looks very suspect to me, so we'll see how that works in just a moment. But first, let's get this AM installed. Go back to the smaller screwdriver. Maybe the smaller screwdriver was a mistake. Okay, so it's secured on the back here and on the side there. Now there's this little pop bracket that's going to go just between these two bits, and the picture makes it look like there's a lot more space there. So we'll see how all this works. That's just this little guy here. He's got 2 pins on this side that go into that. Alright, the plastic flex is enough. It's not too bad. It's a slightly silly fit, but that just goes on up there to replicate the way the muffler would actually be attached. And again, this piece just sort of bent, no problem. So that's good. That's nice and secure. So here's the big step. Okay, I gotta bring in the chassis because we're getting attached. So just for a last look, there's the muffler secured to the engine. And here's that monster chassis we've been building. Now the engine's gonna fit back in here. They have you fit it in from the top and then flip it and secure it, so hopefully I don't wreck anything in that process. So, this is going to secure on the underside here and on these 2 posts. So this has got to fit down and through somehow. That wasn't too bad. Did I actually make the post land? Of course not. There we go. So that's just balanced in right now. But we're starting to get a picture here, huh? So I can actually squeeze that in a little bit so that it will stay on those 2 transmission mounts. And this is going to be all secured with 3 DM screws. I'm going to go get those ready before I flip this. Really don't want to put this down on top of itself. Keeping my finger there, and hopefully I don't mess up any of my cables. So 1 in the center. I guess we'll find out if I messed up my cables when we flip this. 1 there, and then 1 on each of these posts. Gotta put it down for a second because I only got so many hands. Yeah, I disconnected some of my fuel injector lines. I'll have to fix those. I should glue them. I didn't want to. Okay, so. Oh, I completely disconnected one of them. Several of them, most of them. Okay, well, I'm going to put that off to the side for the moment. Or I'll fix them now. I'm going to fix them now. Whew, that took a lot. So, definitely going to have to come back and glue these. And I'm going to regret having flipped this over because next step is to take way back when we set up these half axles, and I've got 2 more joint covers, so I got to slip these halfway on each of these, and then I got to flip the car back over because this needs to go and actually connect the transmission to the end. I'm going to figure out some way to brace this so that it doesn't knock those wires off again. That will do. So, I've just propped it up so that nothing's actually in contact and I don't have to balance it. So, these go on between the axles and these mounts. Now, that one I may need to rotate back a little if I can. Yeah, okay, so those are rotated back in place off camera. And these jobbies are going to go on like that and get secured with EP screws. Now these don't really need to be perfect because once you get a screw on it, you slide that rubber fitting up over it and yeah, it pretties it up a bit. Just got to repeat on the other side. Well, helps if you get the cover past the sticking point first. These fit very close to the support pieces. So you want to get that a little more than halfway up. Otherwise, you won't be able to get it past. Okay. So that's 2 braces installed, not braces. Actually, rear axle, drive axle. Last, we have a couple more brackets, and I think we're going to flip this back over so it's right side up to get these installed. And these are these 2 brackets here. They are symmetrical but not identical. And one goes on one side, one goes on the other, such that these parts are pointed down, and of course the screw hole goes towards the side. And these are going to go on those couple little screw holes left on the muffler and be secured with AP screws. So let's do that. Yeah, because these are symmetrical but not identical, you do want the flat part facing the rear away from the tire. It's a little tough to see in their pictures. They don't make it super clear, but you can see the tire. So there's one. Not quite sure. I assume they're going to be vertical. And then we'll do number 2. Okay, so that was a lot this week, but these front wheels want to be in hover mode. Man, so that is an engine and a muffler installed in this car chassis, and whew, it's coming together. That's what our finished assembly should look like. That's our finished assembly. As always, if you like what you see, please click on the cat to subscribe. We do the Back to the Future builds on Saturdays and Ghostbusters Ecto 1 builds on Wednesdays, and other videos as they come up. Have a good one, guys.